Have you ever stopped to think about how many religions exist in the world? Maybe you know a few of them, but do you really know which are the 7 largest religions that have shaped cultures, wars, and even the way we live today? In this video, we will explore fascinating stories, controversies, and interpretations that might change how you see the world. But first, let me extend an invitation. If you enjoy discovering incredible stories and demystifying little-known topics, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. And most importantly, comment below which religion or story intrigues you the most. I want to hear your opinion. Shall we? Today, we're embarking on a journey through the mysteries of the world's 7 largest religions. Get ready, because we'll dive into profound interpretations, historical controversies, and even how these beliefs have shaped the course of humanity. But let me tell you something up front. This video isn't just about facts. It's about uncovering how these millennia-old stories still resonate in our lives. Did you know, for example, that Christianity is the largest religion in the world? But its roots are intertwined with events from thousands of years before the birth of Christ. And that Hinduism, perhaps less familiar here in the West, is one of the oldest religions in history. Yes, there's so much to unravel, and believe me, some of these stories will leave you speechless. Our first stop will be an introduction to Christianity, but not in a conventional way. We'll travel back in time to the Old Testament and discover how these stories have connected beliefs across millennia. Christianity, with over 2 billion followers, is the largest religion in the world, but it all begins long before the central figure of Jesus Christ. We're talking about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, names you've probably heard in the Old Testament, also known as the Torah of the Jews. According to the Bible, Abraham received a divine promise that he would be the father of a great nation. This is where strong symbolism emerges, shaping not only Christianity, but also Judaism and Islam. Yes, these 3 religions share a common starting point. Surprising, isn't it? But Christianity, as we know it today, only began to take shape in the 1st century AD, with the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem. According to the New Testament, Jesus brought a message of love, compassion, and redemption. However, from the start, his story was surrounded by controversies and disputes. After all, to the Romans of the time, he was a revolutionary, and to the religious leaders, he was a threat to order. Did you know that crucifixion itself was reserved for criminals? But in the case of Jesus, this event became the greatest symbol of faith for billions of people. Why? That's what we'll discuss throughout this journey. Jesus' message didn't end with his death. On the contrary, it was from that point that Christianity began to grow exponentially. But contrary to what many believe, this didn't happen peacefully. There were centuries of persecution. Did you know that early Christians were hunted by the Roman Empire? They gathered in catacombs to practice their faith and escape oppression. And then, something unexpected happened. In 313 AD, Emperor Constantine, who until then had been a pagan, converted to Christianity and declared religious freedom in the Roman Empire. A single act that changed history forever. But was this truly a divine sign or a political strategy? Many theories have emerged over time. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Christianity is just the beginning of this journey, and there's so much more to discover. Each religion brings stories, controversies, and messages that can teach us something about ourselves. In the next chapter, we'll explore one of the oldest religions in the world, Hinduism. And get ready, because this story is so rich in detail, it will make you question everything you thought you knew about humanity's past. Oh, and don't forget, like the video, share it, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. Let's embark on this journey of knowledge together. Hinduism, one of the oldest religions in history, does not have a specific founder nor an exact date of origin. Its history traces back over 4,000 years to the banks of the Indus River, where ancient civilizations began formulating spiritual ideas that shaped what we now call Sanatana Dharma, or the eternal path. Unlike many religions, Hinduism does not have a single sacred book. Instead, it holds a collection of texts encompassing philosophy, mythology, and rituals. Among the most important are the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the epic Mahabharata, which includes the Bhagavad Gita. What makes Hinduism unique is its multifaceted approach to spirituality. Here, the divine can be found in everything, in nature, in people, and even within ourselves. But what truly defines this religion is the concept that all souls are connected to Brahman, the universal cosmic force. To understand Hinduism, we must dive into its central philosophy. One of the most significant concepts is karma. Everything we do generates a consequence, whether in this life or a future one. Karma is the law governing the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, known as samsara. The ultimate goal of Hinduism is to achieve liberation from this cycle. This state of liberation is called moksha. And how does one get there? There are different paths, such as spiritual knowledge, deep meditation, or devotion to a deity. Each person can choose the path that resonates most with their soul. And this is where the deities come into play. Hinduism has thousands of gods, but all are manifestations of the same universal principle, Brahman. Among the main deities are Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer, who together form the Trimurti, or the cosmic trinity. Hinduism is much more than a religion. It is a cultural fabric that spans millennia. In its early days, it shaped societal structures through a system known as castes. Although this system is controversial and widely criticized, it was originally designed to organize society based on skills and responsibilities. Over time, the caste system was distorted, becoming a source of social inequality. However, Hinduism's impact extends far beyond social structures. It inspired great works of art, architecture, and literature. For instance, have you heard of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata? These two epics narrate stories that are not just mythological, but also profound lessons in morality and ethics. The Bhagavad Gita, a chapter of the Mahabharata, is one of the deepest texts of human spirituality. In it, Krishna explains to the warrior Arjuna the importance of performing one's duty without attachment to the results, a lesson that transcends time and still resonates today. One of the most fascinating aspects of Hinduism is its rituals. Every celebration, whether Diwali, the festival of lights, or Holi, the festival of colors, holds a deep meaning. Diwali, for example, symbolizes the victory of light over darkness, while Holi celebrates the arrival of spring and the triumph of good over evil. Another sacred ritual is bathing in the Ganges River, which Hindus believe can purify the soul and wash away sins. The Ganges is not just a river, it is seen as a living goddess, a mother who nurtures and cares for her children. But Hindu practice is not limited to rituals. Meditation and yoga are essential parts of this spiritual journey. Through meditation, practitioners seek connection with the divine, while yoga is seen as a union of body, mind, and spirit. Like any religion, Hinduism has its controversies. The caste system, for example, was extensively used to justify social inequalities, even when its spiritual roots did not endorse discrimination. Many reforms have taken place over time to combat these abuses, but the scars of this practice remain visible. On the other hand, Hinduism also faced external challenges. During British colonization, many of its rituals were ridiculed and banned, leading Hindus to make efforts to preserve their cultural identity. Despite adversities, Hinduism has remained resilient, adapting to changes while keeping its traditions alive. Today, it is a religion practiced by over 1 billion people worldwide, with an influence that goes far beyond spirituality. Hinduism is a true mosaic of beliefs and practices that defy any attempt at simple definition. It reminds us that spirituality is something deeply personal and yet universal. And so, we continue our journey, exploring one of the world's greatest religions. Islam is one of the world's largest religions, with over 1.9 billion followers, known as Muslims. Its origins trace back to the 7th century on the Arabian Peninsula, centered around a powerful message: submission to the will of Allah, the one God. But the story of Islam is not just a matter of faith, it's a saga of divine revelations, resilience, and cultural transformations. It all began with one man, Muhammad, as he is called in Arabic. Born in 570 CE in the city of Mecca, Muhammad was known for his honesty and character. But his life would change dramatically at the age of 40 when he received his first revelation on Mount Hira. It is said that the angel Gabriel appeared to him, delivering words that would become the Quran, the holy book of Islam. The Quran is more than a book. For Muslims, it is the literal word of Allah, revealed in Arabic, and serves as a guide for all aspects of life. Its central messages are clear: the unity of God, the importance of justice, and individual responsibility for our actions. But what does it mean to live as a Muslim? Islam is structured around 5 fundamental pillars, which represent the duties of every follower. The first is the Shahada, the declaration of faith. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. The second is Salat, prayer, performed 5 times a day facing the Kaaba in Mecca. The third is Zakat, or charity, symbolizing social responsibility and helping those in need. The fourth is Sawm, fasting during the holy month of Ramadan as an act of discipline and spiritual reflection. And finally, the fifth is Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, which every Muslim must undertake at least once in their lifetime, if physically and financially able. These pillars create a profound spiritual connection between Muslims and Allah, while strengthening community bonds and solidarity. After Muhammad's death in 632 CE, Islam expanded rapidly, driven by its universal message as well as military conquests and political alliances. In just a few decades, it spread from the Middle East to North Africa, Europe, and Central Asia. This was not just a territorial expansion, but also a cultural one. Islamic civilization flourished during what is known as the Islamic Golden Age, roughly from the 8th to the 13th centuries. During this period, mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi developed algebra, scientists mapped the skies, and philosophers such as Averroes and Avicenna reinterpreted Greek thought through an Islamic perspective. The influence of Islam was so profound that it shaped not only the regions where it dominated, but also left a lasting impact on European, African, and Asian cultures. But not all was unity. After Muhammad's death, a question arose that would divide the Muslim community. Who should lead the Ummah, or Islamic community? This dispute gave rise to Islam's 2 major branches, Sunnis and Shias. Sunnis, who make up the majority, believe that Islamic leaders should be chosen from among Muhammad's companions, while Shias maintain that only direct descendants of the Prophet, through his cousin and son-in-law Ali, should lead. While both traditions share the same pillars of faith and reverence for the Quran, their practices, rituals, and interpretations differ in certain aspects. Unfortunately, throughout history, these differences have led to conflicts and divisions that persist to this day. Today, Islam is a global force, present on almost every continent. Countries like Indonesia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh have the largest Muslim populations, while Islamic communities thrive in Europe and the Americas. despite its diversity, Islam faces challenges in the contemporary world. One of the greatest challenges is combating stereotypes associated with terrorism, which do not represent the true essence of the religion. The word Islam, after all, means peace. The vast majority of Muslims condemn violence and seek spiritual and social harmony. Another challenge is adapting to social and technological changes while maintaining the Quran's core values. This journey of balance is a testament to the resilience of Islamic faith. Islam remains a religion of spiritual depth, cultural diversity, and global impact. And despite its complexities, it continues to be a unifying force for billions of people around the world. As we continue our journey through these 7 great religions, remember, each of them has something to teach us. Islam, with its message of submission and peace, shows us that spirituality can be a path to unity and transformation. Imagine leaving behind all wealth, status, and power to seek the truth. This is the story of Siddhartha Gautama, the man who would become the Buddha, or the Enlightened One. But Buddhism is not just the story of one man. It is a path inviting billions of people to find inner peace and meaning amidst the chaos of life. Founded in the 6th century BCE in India, Buddhism is not just a religion, but also a philosophy of life. Its message resonates to this day, offering an alternative path to the tensions of the modern world. To understand this ancient tradition, we must begin with the journey of Siddhartha Gautama, the prince who chose renunciation. Siddhartha Gautama was born into a royal family in what is now Nepal. Shielded from any suffering, he grew up surrounded by luxury and comfort, but an unexpected encounter would change his life forever. These visions, known as the 4 encounters, revealed to Siddhartha the harsh reality of life. Everyone ages, falls ill, and dies. Moved by these discoveries, he left his palace and became an ascetic, seeking the truth about human suffering. After years of meditation and rigorous practices, he finally attained enlightenment while meditating under the Bodhi tree. At that moment, he understood the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path, the foundations of Buddhism. The 4 noble truths are the heart of Buddhism. They invite us to confront suffering as an inevitable part of existence and to seek ways to transcend it. Life is suffering, dukkha. Suffering arises from desire and attachment. It is possible to overcome suffering. The path to the cessation of suffering is the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path serves as a spiritual compass. It includes principles such as right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. It is not a set of rules, but a guide for living with wisdom and compassion. After attaining enlightenment, Buddha dedicated his life to teaching his philosophy. His disciples spread his message across Asia, bringing Buddhism to countries such as China, Japan, Tibet, Sri Lanka, and Southeast Asia. Over time, different schools emerged, interpreting his teachings in unique ways. 2 of the major Buddhist traditions are Theravada and Mahayana. Theravada, predominant in Southeast Asia, focuses on Buddha's earliest teachings and the individual's quest for enlightenment. Mahayana, found in China, Japan, and Korea, emphasizes compassion and the ideal of the bodhisattva, one who seeks enlightenment to help others. In Tibet, Buddhism evolved into a unique form, incorporating deeply spiritual practices tied to meditation and symbolism. It is here that we find figures like the Dalai Lama, one of the world's most renowned spiritual leaders. Today, Buddhism continues to flourish, not only in its lands of origin, but also in the West. Its practices of meditation and mindfulness have become invaluable tools for coping with stress and anxiety in the contemporary world. What makes Buddhism so relevant today is its emphasis on personal experience. It does not demand blind belief, but invites each individual to explore and validate its teachings through practice. More than a religion, Buddhism is an invitation to inner transformation. Despite its peaceful nature, Buddhism has faced challenges, including political persecution and cultural adaptations. Yet it remains a source of inspiration and resilience for millions around the globe. Buddhism teaches us that true peace begins within ourselves. It is a reminder that even amidst life's difficulties, there is a path to enlightenment. And with this, we move on to the next stage of our journey, exploring another of the world's great religions. Before Christianity and Islam, there was Judaism, an ancient religion that laid the foundation for the world's great monotheistic traditions. It all begins with one man, Abraham. According to the Torah, Abraham was called by God to leave his homeland and embark on a journey of faith and obedience. This promise initiated the covenant between God and the people of Israel, a pact that lies at the heart of Judaism. But Judaism is far more than ancient stories. It is a living tradition, full of rituals, sacred texts, and a rich history that has spanned millennia of challenges. At the core of Judaism is the Torah, which is not just a book, but the foundation of Jewish law and spirituality. Written in Hebrew, the Torah contains the first 5 books of the Bible, known as the Pentateuch. Here, we find the narrative of creation, the Exodus from Egypt, and of course, the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are not merely religious norms. They are a moral code that shaped civilizations. Among them are, "You shall not kill," "Honor your father and mother," and "You shall not bear false witness." These laws established an ethical standard that transcends Judaism and influenced much of the Western world. Judaism underwent profound transformations throughout its history. During the era of the First Temple, built by King Solomon, Jerusalem became the spiritual center of the Jewish people. But this golden age was interrupted by the destruction of the temple by the Babylonians in 586 BCE, forcing the Jewish people into exile. Over the centuries, the Jewish people faced persecution, expulsions, and the challenge of maintaining their identity in foreign lands. This dispersion, known as the diaspora, did not weaken Judaism. On the contrary, it strengthened its resilience and adaptability. Even without a central temple, Judaism remained alive through practices such as Shabbat, the study of the Torah, and the celebration of sacred festivals like Passover, which commemorates the Exodus, and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. In addition to the Torah, Judaism has a rich tradition of interpretation and debate. The Talmud, a collection of rabbinical commentaries on the Torah, is one of the most studied texts in Judaism. It not only explains the laws, but also explores ethical and philosophical questions. Judaism is a religion that values reflection and questioning. For Jews, the search for truth is not a linear path, but an ongoing dialogue between the sacred and the human. This is reflected in the concept of tikkun olam, or repairing the world, which encourages Jews to do good and promote justice. This connection between spirituality and social responsibility is one of Judaism's hallmarks. It teaches us that faith is not just an internal act, but something that must be lived and shared. Today, Judaism remains a significant cultural and spiritual force. With approximately 15 million followers, it is one of the smallest religions in numbers, but its historical and cultural influence is immeasurable. After centuries of persecution, including the tragedy of the Holocaust, the Jewish people reaffirmed their identity with the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. While Israel is a symbol of hope and resilience, it is also a focal point of political tensions and debates in the contemporary world. However, Judaism transcends geographical boundaries. It lives on in every community around the world, in daily rituals, and in the strength of its timeless message, the pursuit of connection with God, with others, and with justice. Judaism reminds us of the importance of memory, faith, and action in building a better world. It is a rich heritage that continues to inspire and transform lives. Sikhism is one of the youngest religions in the world, founded in the late 15th century in northern India. With over 25 million followers, primarily in the Punjab region, Sikhism carries a powerful message of unity, equality, and devotion. It was Guru Nanak, the first of the 10 Sikh gurus, who laid the foundation of this faith. He was born in 1469 during a time of intense religious conflict between Hindus and Muslims. Nanak challenged the divisions of his era with a simple message: there is one God, and all human beings are equal before him. Sikhism is based on 3 fundamental pillars: Nam Japna, meditation and repetition of God's name, which connects the devotee to the divine; Kirat Karni, honest work, which upholds ethics and dignity in daily life; Vanchakna, sharing with others, promoting equality and charity. One of the most practical examples of the principle of equality is the langar. In every Gurdwara, Sikh temples, free food is offered to anyone, regardless of religion, caste, or social class. It is a powerful symbol of brotherhood and solidarity. Sikhism was shaped by the teachings of the 10 gurus, each contributing to the development of the faith. The last human guru, Guru Gobind Singh, brought a significant transformation by establishing the Khalsa, an order of spiritual warriors who defend justice and protect the oppressed. Members of the Khalsa follow 5 sacred symbols known as the 5 Ks. Kesh, uncut hair, symbolizing acceptance of divine will; Kara, a steel bracelet representing eternity; Kanga, a comb representing cleanliness and order; Kachara, specific undergarments symbolizing self-control; Kirpan, a small sword symbolizing the protection of the weak and the fight for justice. After Guru Gobind Singh, the Guru Granth Sahib, the holy book of Sikhism, was declared the eternal Guru. It contains the teachings of the Sikh gurus and sages from various traditions, reflecting the universal nature of Sikhism. From the beginning, Sikhism faced significant challenges. During the Mughal Empire's rule in India, many Sikhs were persecuted for their faith. Guru Arjan, the 5th Guru, was martyred for refusing to abandon his beliefs. Guru Gobind Singh also led battles to protect religious freedom. Despite the adversities, Sikhs remained resilient. Today, their history of resistance and courage serves as an inspiration to communities around the world. Today, Sikhs are present worldwide, contributing to society with values of service, equality, and spirituality. In the diaspora, especially in countries like Canada, the United Kingdom, and the United States, Sikhs are recognized for their dedication to community and justice. The Golden Temple, or Harmandir Sahib, remains the spiritual center of Sikhism, attracting millions of visitors each year. More than a religious symbol, it is a reminder of Sikhism's universal message: we are all equal in the eyes of God. Sikhism teaches us that faith is more than belief. It is action, compassion, and justice. Its message of unity continues to resonate in a world that needs more inclusion and understanding. Traditional Chinese religions are not merely systems of belief, but philosophies that have shaped China's culture, ethics, and spirituality for thousands of years. Among them, Confucianism and Taoism stand out, offering unique approaches to life and harmony. Though different in essence, these traditions share a common pursuit: balance, wisdom, and a connection with the universe. Confucianism, founded by Confucius in the 6th century BCE, is not precisely a religion, but an ethical philosophy. It emphasizes the importance of human relationships, education, and virtue in creating a harmonious society. At the heart of Confucianism are the 5 relationships: ruler and subject, father and son, husband and wife, elder brother and younger brother, and friends. These relationships reflect the interdependence that sustains society. While Confucianism seeks order, Taoism, founded by Lao Tzu, explores the connection with the natural flow of the universe, known as the Tao. Taoism invites us to live in harmony with nature, embracing simplicity and detachment. Taoism also introduces the concept of yin and yang, the essential duality that maintains balance in the universe. Light and darkness, activity and rest, masculine and feminine, all are part of the eternal flow of the Tao. These traditions have shaped Chinese art, medicine, politics, and spirituality. From acupuncture to Tai Chi, the influence of Confucianism and Taoism is evident in every aspect of Chinese life. Today, traditional Chinese religions continue to inspire millions of people. Whether through the wisdom of Confucius or the serenity of Taoism, these philosophies offer tools to find balance in a chaotic world. Chinese traditions teach us that true harmony begins with a connection to the universe and to one another. They remind us that ancient wisdom can still light our paths today. We've reached the end of this incredible journey through the 7 great religions of the world, a voyage that has shown us how beliefs and philosophies have shaped cultures, inspired millions, and continue to influence the present and the future. Each one has something unique to teach us, be it about faith, compassion, or the search for meaning. And now I want to know, which of these stories surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your opinion matters to us. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like to support our work and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming content we've lovingly prepared for you. There's so much more waiting for you. Check out these videos here on the side and continue exploring the fascinating universe of ideas, cultures, and stories that connect us as human beings. Thank you for joining us on this journey. I'll see you in the next video. Until then,